no more of that. I'm not one of your barroom tarts.
You're right, teacher. You're 100% right. I've been a bad boy. I've been naughty. Matter of fact, I don't even belong in your class.
Some Came Running, released by MGM in 1958, based on the book by James Jones, starring Frank, the chairman of the board, Sinatra, Dean Martin, Shirley MacLaine, Arthur Kennedy, and Martha Hyer, directed by the great and visually striking Vincente Minnelli. Frank plays Dave, an Army veteran, returning to his hometown in Parkman, Indiana, carrying alongside a new unwanted girlfriend named Ginny, played by Shirley MacLaine. And while in town, he wants to reconnect with his estranged brother Frank, played by the effectively underrated Arthur Kennedy, slowly realizing how much more corruption Frank has brought upon himself. But then Frank meets Bama, a good-hearted bad influence of a hard-drinking gambler played fantastically by Dean Martin, welcoming Dean and Frank's first film of technically 6 they would ever do together. They form a fun bond, but it brings Dave back to his drinking habit, which could kill himself as a future successful writer. The underlying drama of the whole story is Dave's explosive love for Gwen, a friend of the family, played lovingly by Martha Hyer in her first and only Oscar-nominated performance. Dave believes she's the only one that truly understands who he is and the pain of what he's been through, and his passion for storytelling, even though she knows it's wrong to be in love with him. Some Came Running, ladies and gentlemen, is truly a fantastic melodramatic film. I remember first seeing this on TCM when I was a teenager and blown away by the performances all around and just the execution of the story. For a melodrama, it certainly moves and doesn't trudge along and milk certain dramatic moments. Obviously, you can tell this is a book-to-film adaptation with the multiple storylines, and it all works splendidly, especially when you have the investing and arresting direction of 2-time Academy Award winner Vincente Minnelli. Even though there are times where I can't stand the CinemaScope picture, just because there are moments that are deeply intimate, that should be tighter, you know? But yes, I agree with you, Mr. Scorsese. CinemaScope is absolutely beautiful, especially when you see it on the big screen, which is what was intended. However, when you see it on TV, your laptop, or your phone, sometimes it just distances the viewer from the intimacy of the moment. But other than that, I find this film to be one of Vincente Minnelli's best films he's ever directed, even though famously, there was a lot of tension on set, particularly with Sinatra and Martin. They apparently didn't appreciate how Minnelli was so focused on style and production image versus directing the actors. I mean, he gave them certain direction, but it was nothing to their liking, apparently. And I can totally understand myself, but that's why Minnelli was really good with casting the right actors to bring the work to justice. Sinatra apparently stormed off set a few times because he was just annoyed at Minnelli's fixation on image. And sure, I would be annoyed too, but I would be more annoyed if Sinatra didn't want to rehearse. I love you, Frank, but come on, man. You can't just go for it cold. I love spontaneity as an actor myself, and Frank was the same way, but there always has to be rehearsal, for crying out loud.
It's because I think I could kind of fall for a guy like you.
Me? A cute-looking kid like you? With such class? Such a fine mind? Oh, get out. She was pulling my leg.
But you know who shines phenomenally in this film? Is Dino, giving one of his best performances ever, and personally one of Dino's own favorites. The character is not too different from a lot of other characters Dino's played, like in Rio Bravo, but Bama has a great flair of hunky-dory about him, which is so cool, but also quietly tragic, especially when we learn his diabetes diagnosis later on in Act 2.
He always wears hat in the presence of ladies.
All the time.
He even sleeps in his hat. I'll bet.
I learned a little while back that certain conditions bring a gambler luck, you know? And, oh, thank you. And this here hat's one of them.
Martha Hyer, Shirley MacLaine, and Arthur Kennedy all give fantastic Oscar-nominated performances as well, with MacLaine, I believe, nominated in the wrong category of leading actress when clearly she was supporting. If she was switched to supporting, she would have won the Oscar over Wendy Hiller for Separate Tables, in my opinion, even though I would still vote Maureen Stapleton's beautiful performance in Lonely Hearts. But besides that, Shirley MacLaine is devastatingly great here. A hooker with a heart of gold, as they say.
Oh, but he ain't in love with me, Miss French. I wish he was. I'd give my right eye if he was. I never felt like this about nobody in my whole life. It just touches me and I fall apart.
Every scene where Sinatra treats her frickin' horribly, everyone does practically. But the big scene where Sinatra calls her stupid, among many other things, and how she silently stands up for herself without losing any innocence, makes us feel for her so deeply. I love the moment at the carnival where she says,
I'm gonna make you a good wife, Dave. A really good wife. You're not gonna be sorry.
there's so much truth in her eyes. It's just marvelous. And when they're just walking around the carnival, she pokes the boy in front of them and then kisses the little girl in the cotton candy line. You can absolutely tell that was totally improv. Also nominated for 2 more Oscars, including Walter Plunkett's costume design, which is just simple but so effective for the setting and the time. And Jimmy Van Heusen and Sammy Cahn's original song, To Love and Be Loved, which Sinatra recorded later for Capitol Records.
To love and be loved, that's what life's all about.
MGM thought they could get another success out of a James Jones book, who also wrote a fantastic book made into a Best Picture winner called From Here to Eternity. God, I love that film. So they paid $45,000 for the rights, and it certainly paid off, being a lovely hit. And it is certainly one of the greatest uses of CinemaScope and Metrocolor, with the greatest sequence in the whole film, without a doubt being the carnival pan tracking Ray, Ginny's gangster boyfriend, with Elmer Bernstein's intense theme pumping in the back. Scorsese says it's one of the best he's ever seen as well. And though snipping away large points within the book, the screenplay does a terrific job of driving the story forward and hitting the character beats needed for us, the audience, to really connect with these flawed human beings. How a small town can be so beautiful on the outside, but on the inside could eat you up and you can lose your way. Also, if you have seen it, my God, that ending is devastating. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, because you need to be hit with it. However, it is much different from the book, because Frank Sinatra, in his moment of just genius, said that maybe it should be switched. There should be a more significant impact with a character that the audience have really grown to love and feel for. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So the switch was made, and my God, it is unbelievably impactful. Even to this day, and I've seen it dozens of times, that ending still kicks you in the head. All in all, Some Came Running is a sensational film that deserves to be seen, and I give it an A-.
Golly, I liked it fine, Dave. I really liked it a lot.
Be sure to catch the film wherever it may be playing, TCM, streaming, because it deserves all the love. But tell me, my friends, have you seen Some Came Running? What do you think of it? Comment, like, and share, and by all means, feel free to write me more requests, because I listen with all my heart. But that's all I have for today, my amazing folks. Here's looking at you, kid, and keep those classics alive.